And it is good for us to zero on crops that are going to help the families very quickly. Crops that are able to grow fast, crops that are able to be harvested sometimes just within weeks, and crops that are able to build up the body in a healthy way. And today and for this next 2 weeks or so, I want us to concentrate on vegetables, green vegetables, and other things. And we are going to deal with very common ones. Our aim is to be able to identify them, know how to grow them, know how to harvest them and preserve them, and also know their values. One of the first vegetables, very common in tropical worlds, is the group called amaranthus. Amaranthus, AmaranthuS. The Amaranthus genus has many members, many species. Most of them are able to grow wild. And today I'm going to give us a number of exercises. If you go to your internet and you Google for one or two species of Amaranthus, I'm sure you'll be able to identify them, because I want us to be familiar with what we are learning. Just Google Amaranthus hybridus, Hybridus, Amaranthus hybridus. Just say image of Amaranthus hybridus. Please, you can unmute when you see it, say so that you have seen it, because I want us all to learn together. Amaranthus hybridus. It's a very leafy green vegetable. In some countries in West Africa, they call it greens. In the Yoruba land, they call it tete, Tete. It's one of the most popular vegetables used in soups and stews, together with other things like melon. It can be cooked alone as vegetable by itself. Very rich in minerals, rich in vitamins, rich in plant hormones that help fertility, particularly in women. Has anybody found it?
Yes, sir, I found it.
Yes, sir.
Good. Do you know it?
Yes, sir. Very familiar with
We
it.
eat it, sir.
Very good. I'm happy
I
that
ate
you
it
eat it.
almost all my youthful age.
Now, there are many varieties of it, and all of them have got almost the same properties. There is even one that grows wild near the roads, which has got thorns. I would like you not only to know it and grow it, but to do some research on the medicinal usefulness of that very common plant. But as I've said already, it is very rich in minerals and vitamins necessary for the body's health. It builds up the immune system. Many women who are not fertile may find solution to infertility through eating that plant. One general thing about these vegetables is that we don't need to boil or cook it and throw the green water away. The green water is where you have most of the essential things for our body strength. So the method of cooking is very important. Now, to plant this particular thing, you need soil that is humus, very rich in nitrogen. So making compost for the soil is very good because it needs a lot of nitrogen to grow very fast. We are specializing in the green leaves, and nitrogen encourages growth of green leaves very fast. It doesn't need too much water. So a loamy soil through which water can easily pass is what is good for it. It is good to harvest it only after a few weeks of growth before it begins to flower. When you harvest the leaves, when it begins to, before it begins to flower, you encourage it to produce many more green leaves so that you can harvest many times in the season and gain maximally from it. Once you allow it to flower, it means you want to reap another season's seeds for planting. The small dark seeds are used in planting just a few inches apart, like 6 inches apart. The closer they grow together, the more leaves you have. It doesn't need too much sunlight. Too much sunlight will let them grow, in a scanty way and dry up. Growing amaranthus is very, very easy. That's why I'm starting with it. One good thing about it is that when the growing season is going away, you can collect a lot of the leaves, dry them under shade, they will remain green, and you can preserve them for use even throughout the dry season. But fortunately, because it doesn't need too much water, you can even grow the seeds during the dry season and have continuous fresh harvest just by watering the plants from time to time. So let it become one of the staples so far as vegetables are concerned in the tropics. Amaranthus, the different varieties, all of them are good. Some varieties can grow very big and have thousands of seeds produced at the top. Those seeds are themselves edible. They are black seeds, and they are very rich in proteins and amino acids. So not only the leaves are edible, the seeds of some varieties are edible and are rich in proteins. Remember, plant proteins are better for health than animal proteins. All right. Since many of us are familiar with that, let's spread the knowledge to some places where they don't know much about it. Another member of the family related to amaranthus is called celosia. 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 Celosia argentea. ARGENTIA. Sorry, EA. Argentea. ARGENTEA. Celosia argentea. Again, in some places, particularly in West Africa and Eastern Asia, celosia is very common. Can you quickly Google celosia? Image of celosia argentea, and let's see whether some people know it or not.
Sir, can you come
Somebody
again?
found it? Anybody found Celosia argentea?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We found it, sir.
Oh, very good. The leaves, the young stems, and even the flowers are all edible. It is so rich in nutrients that in one tribe in West Africa, they call it making the husband big. Shoko yokoto. Has anybody heard that before?
I've had it too. I didn't know that this is it.
We heard them say Shoko. We didn't know the full name.
Shoko yokoto.
Okay.
They use it to sing, self.
Interesting.
It also grows very easily. Those two herbs and vegetables we have described are easy to maintain. So there is no excuse for anybody in the tropics to say that it's short of good, palatable, nutritious vegetables. Mainly, they don't need much care. Another group of vegetables, easy to grow, belong to a plant family called Araceae. Araceae, A-R-A-C-E-A-E. For us to recognize that family is simply the family of the cocoyams. The cocoyams. There is the normal cocoyam that grows that grows on land. Then there is another type of cocoyam that grows in very wet places and even in small streams. In both cocoyams, not only the leaves are edible, but more so the corms, C-O-R-M-S. The corms, that means the underground stems. The underground swollen stems are specialized corms where a lot of energy is stored by the plant. And that is very good food for the tropics. So as you eat the stem under, you make your stew or soup with the leaves. There are two varieties I want to highlight. The first one is Xanthosoma. 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 The second name is Brasiliense. Brazil, Brasil, Brasiliense, IENSE. Xanthosoma brasiliense. It only means Xanthosoma from Brazil. Now that is the one that grows in water. Very, very easy to cultivate. If you have a swampy area, that is one of the vegetables to grow there. But even if you don't have a swampy area and you want to grow it, you can grow it in a pot. You can dig a small place around and grow it. Just make sure that the soil is very, very wet and the soil is permeable so that it can grow down. The corm, which is the swollen stem underground, is very rich in good carbohydrates. And the leaves are very good for making stew and soups. Please Google xanthosoma and you will find the different varieties. You will find xanthosoma brasiliense, the other type, which is very common, the one that grows on normal land, is called colocasia. Hmm. Hmm. Colocasia esculenta. Colocasia. Very good. Thank you for bringing this up. Now, the leaves of colocasia are usually larger than the leaves of xanthosoma. If you can bring up colocasia too, you will see that it's very familiar. And in that one, colocasia, it is usually the central tender leaf that is edible. But in both species, the corm, C-O-R-M, the corm, which is a swollen underground stem, is very, very palatable as an energy source, just like yam. just like sweet potato. Yeah. You can see the corn. You can see the corn sliced up there. Now, I believe that these plants are very familiar in many tropical places. We need to focus on them and take advantage of the leaves and the corms. Again, they don't need much care at all. Fortunately, you can grow any of them by cutting the underground swollen stem into pieces. And any small piece will have buds, buds, that will sprout and germinate into another plant. Very easy to maintain. We are doing these things to let the poorest of farmers do simple things and get enough food in a balanced way on the table. It doesn't need much effort. In fact, some of these things we are describing, again, can be grown in bags filled with soil where there's not much space for growing. Another thing that makes the growing of colocasia easier is that it can grow very, very vigorously under shade in plantations of cocoa, oranges, mangoes, avocado, palm trees, cashew, anywhere. Once we put the thing in the ground, it will take care of itself and grow copiously. Within 6 to 9 months, the corms will be formed for harvest. As you harvest, you cut a few of them into pieces and plant again. And that is it. Without much care, it will be providing energy food for the home. The leaves will enrich the body with vitamins and minerals. This one happens to be one of the most favorite vegetables in Ghana and some of the surrounding countries there. But I encourage any Ghanaian on this platform to encourage Ghanaians to eat more varieties of vegetables, not just this one, which they call kontomire. Kontomire is very popular in Ghana. Let other countries which don't eat it also begin to eat it. There are many countries that eat the corm. The corm, that is the energy plant from below, but they don't eat the leaves at all. The leaves are very rich. Now I want to come to a very important group which we often don't concentrate on, but are very good for our health and easy to produce. It is a group of plants called Asteraceae. Asteraceae, Astereae, Asteraceae. There are thousands of them, but we will only consider a few. The Asteraceae belong to the family of the sunflower. the sunflower family. All their flowers look like the sunflower. Most of them grow vibrantly in the sun. But there are a few that are very good vegetables for human health. One of the most popular in West Africa and other places, and in many parts of Africa, is bitter leaf. Bitter leaf. Please make sure you know the difference between bitter leaf and bitter melon. They are two different plants completely. I'm talking about bitter leaf. That bitter leaf scientifically is called Vernonia. 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 The second name is amygdalina. 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 Vernonia amygdalina. Somebody has already suggested it is ewuro in Yoruba, correct? Vernonia amygdalina. Very, very common. Yet many people don't know the value for health. In fact, many people run away from it because it is bitter. But it can be prepared in a very delicious way, palatable, and it will give the results of good health to our bodies. Can somebody display the image of Vernonia on the platform? Vernonia is one of the best village man's medicine for good health. Now, let me tell you something about the series of plants we are going to consider now under this asterisk here. All of them are antibiotics. All of them are antifungal. And all of them are antiviral. So you expect them to be broad spectrum healing plants. They can deal with so many infections in the life of a man. Then all of them can stop bleeding inside and outside. They are hemostatic. They stop bleeding. Apart from that, each one of them has got specialized healing properties. Like this BT is one of the best plants in the world for managing blood sugar, diabetes. In fact, people with type 1 diabetes can benefit from the bitter leaf. Very good for managing high blood pressure. It is also anti-cancer, anti-tumor. It's an effective laxative, preventing constipation, which is the cause of so many chronic diseases. From the little I'm saying, you can see how important it is to have a few plants of bitter leaf at the backyard. Somebody found a plant, because some people may not know it. Image of Vernonia amygdalina. To propagate it is very easy. Just see an older plant, cut some branches, and cut the branches into pieces like 1 foot long. Just dip the older end of the branch into the soil. Make sure it is at least about 4 inches deep. Water it, and there you are. In a few days' time, you will see the buds sprouting and the thing growing into a new plant. Simple. Okay, there we are. That's bitter leaf. And people don't have it, please introduce it to them. I went to a country in Central Africa where diabetes is so prevalent because the people eat too much sugar and they spend a lot of money on diabetes, and many die because of diabetes. But I went through the capital of the country and found almost every corner had this Vernonia growing profusely. And I was surprised that they were not using it, because when I asked them what that plant was for, they said it was a wild plant just growing. Yet God had placed near them the solution to their diabetes. We need to wake up in Africa and know the blessings God has given us and make use of those blessings. Please, I recommend that we spread this news about bitter leaf to our people in the villages and even those in the cities who rely so much on exotic chemical medications with so many side effects. The advantages in using Vernonia are so wonderful. One thing about it, in the tropics, this plant does not die. The more you harvest it, the more it brings out new branches with wonderful leaves. Okay, let's go to another member of Asteraceae, which is a good vegetable. The plant is called Lactuca. 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 The second name is longish. Tara, T-A-R-A. Then X-A. Taraxa. Then C-I-F-O-L-I-A. Taraxa cifolia. Lactuca, Taraxa cifolia. Please, let's make sure we get it correct. Lactuca, Taraxa cifolia. This is an invasive type of vegetable. If you plant a little portion of it in the ground, in a few weeks, it can take over the whole land, to show how prolific it is in growth. Some people call it wild lettuce. It has a beautiful yellow flower. It grows in a procumbent way, sprawling on the ground. And the leaves look rough at the edges, like a lion's teeth. It is related to the European and American dandelion. And has almost all the properties of dandelion. It is very palatable, slightly bitter, but wonderful. You can eat it raw, use it as salad, but you can also cook it in soup or in stew. Most villagers eat it, but you can also plant it in your garden in the city. Actually, it's a tonic. It's very versatile. Deals with almost every part of the body. But it is particularly good for the liver and the kidneys. You can spread it by seeds that float like parachutes at the top of the plant when it's mature. But you can also spread it by the stem, by putting the stem in the soil or the roots. Very popular among the Yorubas, and it's called, who knows it there?
Yanni, sir. For Yanni.
Very good, very good. Kaide, very good. It's called nyani.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Please, if it's not known in your place, propagate it. Extremely good for health. Blood pressure, diabetes, kidney stones, gallbladder stones, constipation, and remember all the other general activities and properties of Asteraceae. Antibiotic,
Sorry,
antifungal.
Daddy, to disturb you. Where can one get the seed?
Oh,
You know I'm close to
that
you.
is actually from where you are. You don't need lactuca. You have this thing near
Okay.
you, dandelion.
Dandelion, the yellow one with the
Yeah.
yellow flower.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Is it
They are very,
edible?
very close. They are very close cousins.
I have it all over the field.
Please be eating it. It's extremely rich.
I
It has
just
all the
harvest
properties
the
of
leaf. Sorry, sir. I just harvest
yes,
the leaf and eat
yes. Eat it
like
as
vegetable.
salad, part of salad, vegetable, yeah, or cook soup with it, yeah.
That's wonderful. I didn't know.
In
Thank you,
fact,
sir.
with dandelion, you can, if you get somebody, you can uproot the root. The root is usually very longish and grows horizontal.
Okay.
That root is even richer than the leaf.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yep. Any questions about what you have done? One thing about lactuca is that you don't need to be weeding the plot where you have planted it. It will overcome every weed there completely. As I said, it is invasive. And you need to be even careful that it doesn't take over the plot where you have planted other things. Okay, if there's no question, let me go to another member of that same family. Extremely important as vegetable and as medicinal plant. Bidens pilosa. Bidens pilosa. Bidens. The second name, Pilosa. Bidens pilosa. Can somebody Google that? Make sure that when you bring the picture out, it has both the flower and also the fruits. The fruits are tiny, tiny needle-like black structures.
Please, sir, can you repeat the spelling, sir?
Bidens, Bidens. Just spell the name of American former President Biden. Add S to it.
Okay, sir.
Pilosa, Pilosa.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, oh daddy. This
Yeah.
thing used to stick on somebody's dress all over.
Correct.
I
That's
don't know
how to
if
identify.
I always uproot it in my farm back home.
That is powerful medicine you are throwing away.
Wow.
Those leaves are very, very palatable. The Yorubas call it abere oloko. So you can domesticate it, plant it on a plot, or plant it even in bags. Those leaves you are looking at are extremely rich. It is particularly noted for cleansing the eyes. The juice from the leaves, when well strained, can be used as eye drops for many eye disorders to cleanse the eyes. But the vegetable itself is very versatile for so many diseases. It's a tonic. Make a good plot of loamy soil. Broadcast those seeds, those black seeds, on the soil, and everything will germinate within 1 week. They grow profusely. Within 3-4 weeks, you are already harvesting. It likes the rainy season, but it can also be grown in the dry season with some watering. I hope many of us know that plant. Can we go on? Just one more example from the Asteraceae. Emilia sonquifolia. Emilia sonquifolia. Emilia. Then sonchifolia. Emilia sonquifolia. Somebody got it?
Yes, sir.
It looks a very succulent plant with fresh leaves. The leaves have no leaf stalk. The leaf is attached directly to the plant.
Yeah.
Very, very palatable. You can pick it on the farm and eat it raw. Good for salad. If you want a vegetable that is extremely nutritious, that is one of them. If you have people who are convalescing from chronic diseases, that vegetable is going to help a lot. Now, it grows easily wild on any abandoned wet place, but you can cultivate it yourself. You can cultivate it from the stem, root, and the seed. It's very prolific. Nobody got it?
I did, sir.
Show
What
your
about the
friends.
flower?
Show your friends, bring it to the platform.
Like that.
You can display it.
Yes, I have some difficulty.
Okay. Let's continue. Last but not the least for today is the plant sweet potato. The sweet potato belongs to a family called Convolvulaceae. Convolvulaceae. And its own botanical name is Ipomia batatas. Ipomia, I-P-O-M-O-E-A. I-P-O-M-O-E-A, Ipomia. The second name is batatas. B-A-T-A-T-A-S. Ipomia batatas. That's sweet potato. Both the underground stem, the swollen stem with starch, and the green leaves are edible. The underground stems are called stem tubers. They are just tubers like yam. And because they are stems, they can grow. If you harvest an underground stem swollen with carbohydrates and you cut it into pieces, each piece will have a number of buds, B-U-D-S, And by planting it again in the soil, those eyes or buds will germinate into new plants and proliferate all over the ground. Sweet potato grows very easily, very vigorously, and as soon as it begins to show leaves and so on, it also begins to store starch in the roots that develop in the soil. It's one of the easiest way of providing food for a hungry family in the shortest possible time, 3 months. Fortunately, the starch in sweet potato can be processed and preserved even for a whole year as flour. That flour can be made into dough and eaten all through the year and is extremely rich. Both the starch and the leaves are anti-cancer, anti-tumor. The leaves are very rich in minerals and vitamins for health. Do more research about it and you see the importance and the value of the sweet potato. The only thing is that if you grow it in a place that is not easily protected from rodents, rodents like sweet potato very much. Rodents, squirrels, as you are harvesting it, they are also harvesting it. If you have a place that is a bit large and you want to plant sweet potato, try to plant it in the middle of the field, not at the edges of the field. If you plant it at the edges of the field, your harvest will be very small because rodents from outside will come easily to eat most of the roots. But if you plant it at the middle of the field, before the rodents reach the middle of the field, they must have seen a lot of boundary crops that will satisfy them, and that will be a repellent for them to go back. So one method of preventing a low harvest is that in the farm where you plant your sweet potato, plant very cheap cassava around the farm, almost like a fence. So when the rodents are coming, they eat the cassava, and once they are satisfied, they go back. By that, you will preserve the growth of your sweet potato. Remember, you don't use chemicals on any of these crops. And once you plant them together with other crops, the attack of insects and so on will be very low. Remember also that we have discussed how to prepare organic pesticides. So in any case, when you find some insects attacking them, you know what to prepare to use. You can plant sweet potato not only by the tubers, you can plant them by the vine. Cut about 1 foot of the stem, slender stem. Put about 4 inches of it into a prepared soil. Water it, and that is it. In a few days, you will see everything sprouting. Again, in sweet potato, you don't need to do much weeding, the plant itself will spread, and its big leaves will smolder every weed that wants to grow under them. Any questions? Any observation? Any addition? Something you have in your own experience? Hello?
Yes, sir. Daddy, please, I want to ask about the cassava leaf. No, sorry, the cocoyam leaves.
Yeah.
We were told that there were certain that were not consumable, that there was a certain species of cocoyam leaf that was not
Well,
consumable.
I have described only 2 of the varieties.
Yes, sir.
And the 2 varieties I have described are consumable.
Okay, sir.
There are so many varieties, but the 2 I have described, Xanthosoma is edible, Colocasia is edible. Incidentally, you have mentioned, Emmanuel, okay.
You did say the tender leaves of one of them.
Of Colocasia.
Yes.
You can differentiate Colocasia from Xanthosema easily by looking both at the leaves and also at the culm, the underground thing. The underground culms of Colocasia look like a comma in writing. Do we know that? That means they are swollen at one end and taper off at the other end. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you.
Whilst the stem, the underground stem of Xanthosema is almost cylindrical. Does that make any sense?
Sure.
Then the leaves of the Colocasia, if spread out, the leaves look like the head of a spear. The head of a spear, rectangular. Whilst the leaves of Xanthosema look a bit roundish and smaller. One grows profusely in water, the other grows on normal land. Any other question or observation? Incidentally, my daughter, that you mentioned cassava. We are coming to cassava and other things next week. You will be surprised that cassava leaf is one of the richest leaves to be eaten, and we throw it away because we have been told everything in cassava is cyanide. Sometimes misinformation can lead us to lose a lot of good things. Cassava leaf, tender leaves, extremely rich in vitamin C and is anti-cancer. It is the major leaf for Sierra Leone, Liberia, and a few other countries. Sold in the market. All right, if there are no other questions, we will end here for today. When we meet next week, it will not only be green leaves, it will be other vegetables like tomatoes, like onions, and so on and so forth. Let's be ready for that. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
have
you,
a good
sir.
week.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.